Hello everyone, this is Robert Wieber. I wanted to do my quiz 3 review for you today, and the question I'll be doing is what what's the difference between a subpoena and a summons? And we have four answers that we can select from. We'll say A, B, C, and D. The first one, it says a summons must be issued by the clerk of the court, whereas a subpoena can be issued by an attorney of record in an ongoing case. Uh, or a summons formally brings a named defendant into a case as a party, whereas a subpoena compels any witness to provide evidence in a pending case. The next answer, a summons is only used for parties, whereas a subpoena is only used for non-party witnesses. And the last one we can select, a summons is issued for trials, whereas a subpoena is used for depositions and hearings. Okay, so we know, well, let's first look at what I did first as I looked to see, okay, what is the actual difference between a subpoena and a summons? So I completely understand uh, the answer I'm looking for. So I went to Google really quick. So over here, we have Wikipedia's answer. A subpoena or witness summons is a writ issued by a government agency, most often a court, to compel testimony or a witness to produce witness or production of evidence under a penalty of failure. Well, I'm sorry, I can't talk today. And a summons, also from Wikipedia, a summons is a legal document issued by a court or by an administrative agency of government for various purposes. Okay, so that really didn't help me out too much. So, looking at the answers, a summons must be issued by the clerk of the court, whereas a subpoena can be issued by an attorney of record in an ongoing case. Now, I know that a summons can be issued by the clerk of the court. Normally, that's written up by a paralegal. It's given to the clerk with the cause of action once it's filed in the court. And a subpoena, from my understanding, has to be, it can be issued by an attorney, but it has to actually be served by a process server on another party. Now, if somebody knows a little bit different, if you could post that comment, kind of clarify that for me as well, because this was a little bit confusing for me because it says specifically issued. So a summons can be issued by the clerk of the court. It could be issued by an attorney of record, say for a plaintiff, um, and a subpoena can be issued in the same way. But both, as from my understanding, both have to be submitted to the court, to the clerk of the court, who then would have them served by a process server. That's my understanding. I could be completely wrong. If somebody wants to clarify that for me, I would probably be very helpful for me. But anyway, let me go on to the next answer that we could choose from here. A summons formally brings a named defendant into a case as a party, whereas a subpoena compels any witness to provide evidence in a pending case. And this is actually the answer that I selected, and that was due to rule, uh, basically looking at Google and basically what Rule 17 says about subpoenas. Uh, and it basically gives a breakdown, I believe I used Rule 17, of what a subpoena is. Places of examination, depositions, uh, documents, witnesses, defendants, and issuance of the subpoena shall be issued by a clerk or other authorized court officer, which kind of this honestly made me think. I know that an attorney is a court officer as well, but like I said, from my understanding, it has to be served through a process server on the party. It just can't be. I I don't. I'm not. I'm unclear really as to whether an attorney can I mail the subpoena directly to a party. I don't believe that can happen. So anyway, The answer I did select was a summons formally brings a named defendant into a case as a party, whereas a subpoena compels any witness to provide evidence in a pending case. That is my understanding of the difference between a summons and a subpoena. A summons is only used for parties, whereas a subpoena is only used for non-party witnesses. And again, a little bit confusing for me. Sorry for the hesitation. Summon is only used for parties, so you're giving a summons to a party for them to appear in court, whereas a subpoena you're giving that to a party, but it wouldn't be a non-party witness unless they have evidence that you need for your trial. So, like that would be a third party, but a third party witness, I think, is what we're looking for there. So the non-party witness threw me off a little bit. But okay, and the last answer that we can select from: a summons is used for trials, whereas a subpoena is used for depositions and hearings. And that actually looks really like the correct answer. A summons is used to let somebody know that, hey, you're being summoned to come to court on this date, this time, this is what you're being sued for, whereas a subpoena is used for depositions and hearings. But what's, I think the caveat here is that a subpoena can be used for not only depositions and hearings, but it can be used for evidence, for books, for evidence within the trial. So it's kind of limited answer there, and I don't think it covers everything that a subpoena entails, or what you can gather with a subpoena to bring in witnesses, say evidence that you need for a trial. So, but the correct answer is B here, and that is my quiz review. I hope that made sense. I really felt like I was jumping around a lot, but thank you for listening. Take care.